but I'll answer it in the way that I make clarity of this question. Yeah, so the first part is correct, that during the tantric sexual exchange that you like to delay the ejaculation for hours. That's a very good idea. I want to add something to that though. It's not just about delaying the ejaculation, it is not ejaculating at all. Because the question presupposes that uh, the person who's asking the question manages to delay the ejaculation for, let's say, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and then ejaculates. In the tantric lovemaking, you don't end by ejaculating. There is no ejaculation. You hold it back, you hold it back, you hold it back, and you stay. You finish the lovemaking with your sexual fluids in you, not ejaculated. And he says that I thought women liked that. Yes, most women do. And then he says, I came to an awareness that they do appoint, I, I think sometimes pretend they want me to ejaculate. What do women think of that? Maybe what he means is, because if he's asking me what those women think about it, I have no idea. But what is in the minds of women who tell me to ejaculate and then not pretend? That part I don't get. But
Maybe I can answer that as for what my was my experience before when I wanted men to ejaculate is actually it's in the mind, that there is that it's fulfillment of the sex for two partners. So in that case, it's a very important that the partner is also into the tantra, or at least has the mental preparation that there should not be, and actually mustn't be, any ejaculation during lovemaking. So then she will not have this need to push men to ejaculate.
correct. So this is one of the reasons why the Teresa is saying that why some women want the man to ejaculate. Um, Generally, women like it when a man makes love to them for a longer period of time and postpones the ejaculation. But then there are so many varieties to this. There are some women who prefer it if the man will not ejaculate at all because they feel safe when it comes to unwanted pregnancies. They feel very confident with the guy and says, you know what, this guy I make love with, he gives me smashing love making. We make love for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, or whatever it is. And then he puts it back in his pants without any ejaculation. And therefore, I'm like, the woman feels very relaxed, very comfortable. So that is also very much possible. But then there are certain women who, even though they enjoy that the man should not ejaculate not too soon, they eventually want him to ejaculate. And that's exactly what Teresa said, is because some women have learned that the man gets pleasure when he ejaculates. And then if the man doesn't ejaculate, it's exactly like when a man makes love to a woman and she doesn't orgasm. And then the man is like, I'm a failure when it comes to lovemaking.
Exactly.
You know? It is the joy of every man to see the woman orgasm, multiple orgasm, and he feels fantastic in his masculinity as a lover, right? And that feeling fantastic, robust, strong as a lover, then migrates to other aspects of his life also. But it's like this. So when the man makes love with a woman and she's not orgasming, then he's like a bit of a failure, right? He feels. These women have learned that when the man ejaculates, he orgasms. When he orgasms, he ejaculates. And therefore, if he doesn't ejaculate, it means she failed.
Exactly.
Therefore, as you said, the women have to be taught that the ejaculation is not making me have pleasure, it's spoiling my pleasure. That the man should explain to the woman what we knew before, what I experienced in my love making before I knew this non-ejaculatory love making. It is like garbage compared to the love making, the pleasure I get in the love making, holding the sexual energy in. The ejaculation is spoiling it. It's ruining the whole show in every way. And therefore, once the woman understands that and she learns, hey, it's not the ejaculation. The orgasm for a man and the ejaculation are not the same thing. Once she's educated, then she can learn to give pleasure to the man and feel fulfilled in herself as a lover, seeing him orgasm, feeling his orgasms without the ejaculation. So that's one of the reasons why some women enjoy it, or they tell the man, ejaculate, ejaculate. Then there are more. For example, uh, sometimes a woman is so deeply and so sweetly in love with a man. And again, there are certain women, not all are the same. Not all women are the same. These women, they have this feeling that I want to eat him. I want his cum inside of me. I want his sperm all over my body, on my breasts, whatever is her. She has cum fantasies.
Mm.
And it's like it's approximately like she feels she wants to digest them. She wants them inside of her. And then in that, this feeling mixed with when the sexual energy for her is getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and then this the coupling of the sexual energy boiling, the sexual desire boiling, the sexual pleasure boiling, and this thing about I want his juices, it makes that she really burns, she yearns for his cum, and she says, come in me, come in me, come in me, you know. And while in the regular non-tantric love making, men can do it, they can ejaculate, and both can get a satisfaction of a certain kind. For the man, it's actually a very superficial satisfaction. In the tantric lovemaking, the woman has to learn that even though she has such a fantasy, and even though the motivation behind her asking for the man's sperm is actually nice because it comes from affection, it comes from love, it comes from intimacy, and that's good, still the man shouldn't do it. That's that's one of the compromises you make in the tantric love making. The man shall not ejaculate, even if the woman says, "Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me," like this. Then there are other women who want the man to ejaculate, and usually much very quickly, is because they have pain in the yoni, and a tantric man is telling the woman, "I'm going to make love with you for 2 hours, 3 hours," and she has pain in the yoni in 2 minutes. No, for her this is going to be a nightmare. It doesn't sound nice at all. And therefore, so these women who have lots of pain in the yonis from traumas, from whatnot, they usually ask the man to ejaculate sooner and sooner, like real as soon as possible, sometimes even without penetration. They just want the guy to ejaculate. So the fellow will become a dead horse, limp, and then there'll be no more pain for her. This happens even in the relationships, you know. This condition of women who have pain in the yoni like this, and the sex is very painful, and they just want the man to ejaculate and get it over with fast and fast. This is perfectly reversible. You're not hammered. The women who have this, they are not plagued. They don't have to be plagued by this for the rest of their life. I have seen, and so many others of us have seen, women who came to us like this in our school. They made love. They took yoni massages. They made love well, and then they opened up perfectly well, and they could take even large size lingams inside them and make love for hours, no pain, no nothing, just pleasure and goodness. Yeah. So these are usually the reasons why women, even though most of them like it when the man makes love to them for a longer time, they sometimes will say, come, 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 come.